Apparently, it is okay feeling lost in your 20s, feeling confused about your life, feeling confused about your future in your 20s. Your 20s are for feeling lost. I have seen so many posts and videos and reels about people just talking about how it is completely okay to have these emotions that you don't understand, how it is completely okay to just feel these really complex thoughts in your mind. And I have seen so many people recommend books or movies to validate those feelings. So I thought that I should make a list of books for myself to read in my 20s, because watching all of these reels and videos and posts has actually made me really scary for my 20s, because I'm 21 and I feel as if I need to be prepared to face anything and everything in my 20s. I should feel okay to become this really weird and sad girl in my 20s. Not that I'm saying I have to become a weird and sad girl, just that if I ever get any weird thoughts, that is completely fine. And these books would help me feel okay with that, apparently. The first book is The Virgin Suicides by Jeffery Eugenides. This is about these 5 Lisbon sisters who are really beautiful and they're really talked about in this town, but they commit suicide one by one and no one in this town knows why. You don't ever get to read the reasons why these girls committed suicide in the first place. And we read about these sisters, about their lives through the perspective of the boys that live in this town with them. We get to read about these girls from the male gaze, like, men talking about women. So you don't ever get to read about the girls from the perspective of girls. And when I first read this book, I had actually read like 70 pages or something before I DNF'd it, because I felt as if I already knew everything that was being talked about in this book. Every girl, every woman already knows everything that is mentioned in this book, I guess. But now I'm looking at it from a different perspective. I'm looking at it from a different light, and I feel as if I would actually really enjoy reading this book now. I also have seen a lot of people recommending this book as a book that you should read in your 20s, so that is why I am adding this book to my list as well. Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. The only negative thing that I've ever heard about Murakami is that he doesn't know how to write women. He writes them to be so one-dimensional that they do not feel like a human being at all. But other than that flaw, I have only ever seen praises about Murakami and his books and how he's such a beautiful writer. And this one, Norwegian Wood, is one of the most popular books of his, I guess. At least it is the one that I own right now. I don't own any of his other books. This book is supposed to talk about loneliness and how you feel these new emotions as you grow up, and how it is completely fine to feel these complicated emotions, and how it is completely okay and how to deal with them. So kind of goes on in that spectrum. So that is why I want to read this book in my 20s. Next is The Lesser Bohemians by Eimear McBride. This is a love story. It is about this 18-year-old Irish girl who arrives in London to study drama and falls violently in love with an older actor. While she is naive and thrilled by life in the big city, he is haunted by demons, and the glamorous relationship that ensures risk undoing them both. At once epic and exquisitely intimate, The Lesser Bohemians is a celebration of the dark and the light and love. So it is a love story, but I don't know why. This book actually reminds me a lot of The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. In what context, I also don't know, but it just does remind me a lot of Sylvia Plath's Bell Jar. And I want to read this book because it talks about this 18-year-old girl who moves to a new city. Barred the love story, it just talks about how she leads a new life, and I am really, really interested in seeing how she actually does that, how she just deals with the newness of everything, of living in this big city. That is something that really, really excites me about this book. And also, this book is so beautiful, like it looks so beautiful. I'm really, really excited to read this now. It is also written in like a stream of consciousness format, so it kind of makes it difficult for you to understand what is happening or what kind of writing this book has. But I think I can get past it. At least I hope I get past it. Next is Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. This is the book that Lorelai told Rory to skip in the first season. I don't know why. So I'm reading it to find out the reason why she told Rory to skip it. This is like this non-fictional inspirational book about Mitch Albom and his professor, and how his professor imparted such wisdom and life lessons to him, and he shares that with us as well. So it is kind of like the book which guides you through life, which kind of reassures you that, okay, you are going to face so many things in your life, and I am here to tell you that it is completely fine to face such things. It kind of feels like that sort of book, so that is why I'm reading this. Also to find out why Lorelai actually told Rory to skip this book. Next book I want to read is The Details by Ia Genberg. Basically, when I read the description of this book on Amazon, the last paragraph was, who is the real subject of a portrait? The person being painted or the one holding the brush? The Details is a novel built around 4 such portraits, unveiling the fragments of memory and experience that make up a life. In exhilarating, provocative prose, Ia Genberg reveals an intimate and powerful celebration of what it means to be a human. I don't know what it is about, obviously, because I haven't read it, but it intrigues me because it is supposed to talk about what it means to be a human, and that is what I want to know also. Because for now, I don't know anything about what it is like being a human, because human beings are disgusting creatures, at least for now. Next book is Girlhood by Melissa Febos. If you have watched Lexi Newly Nova's videos, in one of her earlier videos, she has said that she did not like Everything I Know About Love because she read Girlhood and she thinks that Girlhood is like the superior version of that book. And since I also did not like Everything I Know About Love, I DNF'd it. I think that I would also really like this book if I want to feel every sort of emotion that people felt about Everything I Know About Love. I think I should read this book instead of that. Next is Sorrow and Bliss by Meg Mason. The title is self-explanatory why I want to read this book, so I'm not going to talk about it at all. Next book is On the Calculation of Volume 1 by Solvej Balle or something. I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. When I heard Jack Edwards' review about this book, he talked about it being repetitive, but intentionally repetitive, about this character who is living the same day over and over and over again. And I had actually read another book which was called Before I Fall, which is like this young adult book that I absolutely loved when I read it years back. That book is about the character reliving the day that she died over and over and over again for a week or something, until she figures out what went wrong on the day she died and how she can rectify that mistake. So I really loved the concept of you just living the day over and over and over again, because it kind of teaches you a lot about life, I guess, in general. And since this book is also like that, it kind of explores that concept. I think that this is a book that I should read, and I hope so that I actually end up loving it, because I like that concept, so I should like this book, right? Next is Briefly A Delicious Life by Nell Stevens. Again, another book that is quite self-explanatory if you read the title. So I won't talk about this because I don't know anything about this book. I am going to go in completely blind, and I really hope that I end up liking this book, because the cover is so beautiful that it would be a real shame that I would hate this book or end up disliking it. The last book is Small Pleasures by Clare Chambers, because it is about small pleasures, and I am assuming that this book is going to be about the little things in your life and how small things are so important than the large moments. At least that is my assumption, and I am hoping that my assumption turns out to be correct, because I have read reviews and it kind of sums up this exact sort of feeling. So yeah, that is why I want to read this book. So this was my list of all the books that I am really excited to read in my 20s for my 20s. Obviously, I'm going to add more and more books because I have so many years ahead of me. But so far, I have compiled this list. I would like to add a lot many books. So if you have any recommendation for me, please recommend that book to me in the comments below. I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.